I went to spin around and I almost yanked everything off me.
Hi. Good afternoon. Happy Monday.
Monday's an easy one to remember because we haven't seen each other for 2 days.
We actually haven't seen each other. We really haven't seen each other. We briefly spoke. I think this is the quietest weekend we've had between the two of us for the most part.
It is. It's been a quiet weekend. It was a nice, relaxing. It was a little relaxing weekend. Got to use my pool finally.
It was gross out though.
Not in the pool. It was perfect pool weather.
Happy Monday. Welcome to Live from Rabs from inside a very closed, very dark Rabs country lanes.
Yeah, wonder how everybody spent this. And today is the worst of the three, I believe.
It's hot.
Today
is
miserable.
Naz and I have a special co-host friend with us today.
We do.
The one and only.
God,
Live in person, Melissa McDaniel. Melissa drove up from North Carolina today. Melissa is the incoming president for USBC. She's past chair of the youth committee. Now past chair. Almost. Well, the end of the month hasn't come.
No,
so.
it was immediate.
Oh, so past chair.
Oh, once immediately. You're done.
Out of there.
Youth committee for BPA and USBC. Well, Melissa, welcome to
Thanks.
Live from Rabs. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you. You know, you guys talk about the humidity. You ain't got nothing on North Carolina. It was like 110 yesterday with the humidity, and it's supposed to be that way again today. Pool water is like 90 degrees. Not refreshing.
Yeah, not refreshing at all.
I think Melissa brought this crap with her. And knowing that she was coming, it decided to start following her. And congrats on 107. Yeah, 107th episode. That's insanity, Naz.
Yeah.
Insanity. If phase 2 didn't come into effect, we would be further along because we Monday we were 7 days a week. Melissa had just asked, "Hey, you on?" So obviously Melissa doesn't pay attention. But no, phase 2 here on Live from Rabs, we took the weekends off. We're here Monday to Friday.
Phase 2 we took Saturdays. Sundays.
Sundays. I'm sorry.
Then phase 3.
And then we kind of fizzled. Well, it was kind of like phase 2.5.
Okay.
I mean, all of it did 2.5.
Now phase 3 is the new time, right? So we kind of did the Andy Cuomo where we created our own phases. So you're right. Really, phase 4 would be the new time. But since we're bowling centers are not in phase 5.
Correct. We're not,
and we're still in phase 4, but phase 4 officially starts today. So welcome,
ladies.
With full points dead.
Did you guys normally only have 4 phases to start with, and they gave you a 5th one?
No.
Oh, it's always been 5.
There is no. It's always been 4. Okay, so we have 4 phases. Okay, phase 1 started kind of without a hitch, a little bit. Phase 2 was supposed to be indoor dining, restaurants opening up, and then indoor dining indefinitely not happening. New Jersey, the same thing. Bowling centers and indoor recreation were identified as phase 4, and we are indefinitely not part of phase 4 at this point. So phase 4 starts today. So welcome to phase 4, which means nothing.
Not to us.
No answers yet for you guys.
Not even for us, but malls were supposed to have the opportunity to open. No. Some outdoor museums are open.
Right. The Statue of Liberty still closed, but I believe something is open there. They did open something. Although I thought they said Liberty Island is still
closed. Zoos had the opportunity. The zoos can open, and I know from talking with Kenny Mitchell at the Staten Island Zoo, our Lion King.
Right. No, not Lion
Tiger King. No, he's our Tiger King, but we're gonna call him the Lion King. He's really not as bad as the Tiger King.
We never really did get to the bottom of that.
Yeah. So he was saying they were patiently putting it off a little bit just to get through the beginning. But they'll be, I believe, from what I understand, the zoo will be open in the coming weeks, which will be nice to have something else to do especially with the kids. Which if you have family membership, you can go and do it and enjoy it. Ro Catroci, wait, did you see Ro Catroci yesterday?
Yes, Ray and I saw Ro in a hardware store, which is where I spend most of my weekends.
Home Depot has become my favorite store, and I never thought I would ever say that.
It's funny because we've over the period of time here, we've been talking about what's open, what's not open, what you can buy, what you can't buy. Lumber's been hard to come by. Planting supplies, you can't buy a bicycle.
Well, yeah, bicycles.
It's a little crazy. But now, you ready? the coin shortage.
Oh yeah. What's that
Oh
about?
yes, they're
National
asking you
coin
to.
shortage. Hi, Michael.
Every store I was in is asking you to either pay by credit or to bring in change and exchange it for bills.
I thought it was interesting, the ones that say that you can give us cash, you just don't get any change back. So how much money are they making on that deal every time, every transaction?
Interesting.
Oh, on the roundup.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, then there's some of your credit cards have the roundup thing where you're saving or donating. Yeah, I don't know. It is interesting. I read about it the other day and I was just like, it doesn't make sense to me. A coin shortage. But then if you really think about what's happening, people are going out and shopping, and they're using their phones, they're using their credit cards.
A lot of online shopping.
A lot of online shopping if they're not going out. So I thought it was cuckoo until I walked into Walgreens about an hour ago, and a lady was there paying with $3 in change, and the lady behind the counter was excited as could be. She's like, "Oh my God, this is the most change I've gotten in a week." So now, of course, I text my friends, the experts. Anthony says, "Thank God you made it."
Oh, hi Anthony.
So the bank tells me that yes, I asked if the coin shortage was real, and the bank says yes. And I'm waiting for an answer, a little bit more answer from our numismatist friends, Mark and Sarah, and they said yeah, it is, but it's purely retail. Interesting. Coin shortage. Who knew?
You want to answer that question about North Carolina Bowling Center?
Yeah, I was gonna get there.
Yeah.
So Christine is asking about North Carolina Bowling Centers. And if you remember last week, we had a guest on. Nancy spoke a little bit about it. That was the day that you guys rallied together and sued the governor.
Sued him.
Won, and as a result of that, sadly, there's a process, and so talk a little bit about that process.
Yeah. So we won our initial case against lovely Governor Cooper. We'll just call him lovely Governor Cooper for the day. And then he turned around, and instead of going through the appellate court, he actually skipped the appellate court, went right to the Supreme Court, and we lost that next stage of the case through there. So bowling centers were open for roughly a week, 5 to 7 days, and then we had to shut them right back down again. But some have decided that they don't care, and they've opened up anyway.
Oh.
So to answer your question, sort of yes, Christine. Sort of yes, they are open.
So what sort of penalties or fun? Is there any repercussions for being open when they should be closed?
Sure. I mean, they can take liquor licenses and business licenses and things like that. But it's funny, a lot of the local police departments have said they are not coming to shut the businesses down. They're not enforcing it because they understand that a lot of these, like the bowling center that I work for, the Buffaloes, they've been in the business for 40 years, and they're just watching it all go up. And so they are 4 out of the 5 are open, and a lot of them have chosen to do that just because it's time. It's time. We can keep them safer than Walmart and Target and all this other facilities that are open.
So they're opening under the auspice of the summer camp rule.
Yep.
You can have it. So now we can't have indoor camp here, I don't believe. We can have outdoor camp.
Not yet, right.
So we can't currently have indoor camp. But if in states like North Carolina, you can have an indoor camp. And so they're promoting camp.
Yep, we're going camping. It's $10 a person. We're open 1 to 8. Come in and go camping.
So you're going
camp.
You're spending the afternoon at summer camp.
Yeah.
When you enter a bowling center that is open in North Carolina.
Yep.
That's interesting.
I think it's crazy. But
It's a little itsy bitsy little loophole.
That's what
you got to find them.
And so there are loopholes here in New York too. A couple of them. Private clubs might be one of them. It's very broad. So I mean, we've talked about this a little bit. What if we called league bowling a club, which it essentially is, and opened under the private club laws? But at the same time, here in New York, our governor is taking it feet in. They've been tearing liquor licenses away from.
And they're
businesses.
It's not the local police that are coming around.
Yeah.
It's state liquor authority.
Yeah.
And
wow.
They're not. So they're taking it seriously.
I mentioned on the show the other day, in some other states, it's the CDC actually making visits to facilities. So I find that interesting as well, where it's not just the consumer affairs or the licensee the
licensors,
right?
right?
We're the licensees. Thank you. It's the CDC. And who knows how they're being represented? They could be representative of the state saying they're the CDC. I don't know how that.
Who knows?
I don't know how that as a government agency works.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
So I listen. I think there's certainly light at the end of the tunnel, and it's nice to see that bowling centers can open around the country under these little loopholes. And even here, local law enforcement, if a call is being made, they're being pretty. I mean, they're telling the restaurateurs, hey, but they're not shutting them down. I mean, it's tough. We've been closed for 4 months. One of our challenges is that we're such a large piece of this community, and having received government funding at this point, do you take the chance, and then you lose your liquor license and everything that goes along with it, and what does that look like long term? For the few bucks you can make today.
Right. It's a huge risk.
Trust me. And I'd love to have some sort of income.
I definitely understand people willing to take the risk, but I listen on Staten Island. We know a few weeks ago the restaurants went through that before they were allowed to open outdoor dining.
Were they allowed to open indoor and outdoor, and then they shut indoor
down
again?
Never, they allowed outdoor first, and then they were going to allow indoor, but once they, I think it was maybe 4 days before, they told them that they wouldn't allow they've really laxed with the outdoor seating kind of rule where, I say all over Staten Island, places they can open that front area and they have people sitting inside. So, I think they've tried to be lenient.
Those are the places I think that are skirting the laws.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
If they have the doors, I don't think, at least the way that I interpret them, I could interpret them two ways. In some cases, yes, but for the most part, that's considered indoor dining.
I would think that maybe if you could open the whole front of your restaurant and you have tables there right in the front, that should be okay. But if you have people sitting further back,
like 10 deep or so, no.
Yeah. But listen, people are trying to save their businesses. They're saving what they, like she said, 40 years in business.
Of course,
and,
we're in the same boat.
It's a scary.
Speaking of restaurants, and some of we've talked about this, and on Thursdays, if you join us, we have Pam Silvestri, Staten Island's food guru, the Staten Island Advanced Food Editor, on with us, and we talk exactly this. We've been talking about different restaurants. Just this weekend, Bocce opened up on the top of Buell Avenue.
Beautiful.
It's stunning. But
overlooking
very interesting clientele. Very, very specific clientele, very Italian clientele.
But did they add outdoor stuff?
So this was a restaurant that was closed. So this is the former Mario's. Were closed. They spent a ton of money, a boatload of money rehabbing the place. I think this was like the perfect storm for them. They were able to, now whether or not their business model was going to allow this, I don't know.
It was really nice before they did it.
Yeah, it was like casual. It was very nice.
Yeah,
but he took the windows out, put full open doors outside, a new entrance where the to-go area was, and then rooftop dining. Now, the rooftop, I understood before they were opening that was going to be there. So that was part of the plan.
Right.
But I think this certainly pushed it. But he really did a nice job. So they're from, I believe, Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. Second location for them. I don't know how many tables are up there, but it was once part of the parking lot.
Right.
Lots of tables, the sales is covered.
They didn't have any rooftop seating before.
No,
so
it was just
all
parking.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then downstairs on the street level, on the sidewalk, because the sidewalk is wider there,
they
actually have like a little seating area on the sidewalk, which is separate from. It's really, really nice. Again, I don't know if they're skirting. I don't know what's happening there, but there's a beautiful bar. There's kind of a walk up where they're serving food, because now governor has told us that you cannot serve liquor without food. I mean, you can buy a bag of potato chips for $1 and call it a day, which is what some of these bars are doing, and they're allowed to. But you can't serve liquor without food.
Why?
I think I heard that they feel that the consumption of alcohol makes people make poor choices.
Well, I believe that to be true at any time.
And it
doesn't matter.
They want less congregation.
When they've done that before in Manhattan, you saw what happened.
Yeah.
It was happening on Staten Island on Forest Avenue.
Yeah.
It was a huge congregation of people, nobody wearing masks because they're like, hey, they have a couple drinks.
They had lots of people. I noticed a lot of people there. People wearing masks. It was both because people dining, sitting down.
Right.
But I can't wait to check it out. It's really nice.
Yeah.
And then other rush. Wait, did you know? Oh, you don't come this way. Jack Mao. I don't know if Cousin Lois is watching. Cousin Lois, if you're watching, Jack Mao was setting up outdoor dining the last 2 days. So I noticed it yesterday.
Good idea.
It's a Chinese restaurant that's up the block. So
they
finally,
have a very small parking lot anyway.
No, they're doing it on the sidewalk.
Oh, really?
So right on the which again they have a wide sidewalk and they have doors in the front that open up.
Doors. Correct.
So they had planters out on the sidewalk.
Very
They were setting up tents. Yesterday it looked like they were measuring it out. I was at when I came here for bingo last night, and I was excited because we're not seeing for whatever reason the Chinese restaurants, most of them, they're not doing that. The only one that probably could maybe is East Pacific at the mall.
They do a lot of takeout.
They do a lot of takeout. Yeah. They don't really. Not a lot of them have the space to do some sort of outdoor dining. So I was excited to see that. So I bet you, Lois, if you're watching, if you're not watching, you watch it later. I know you'll be excited.
Yes.
To go visit your friends Jack now. Hey, bowling. Ready? Did you watch? You didn't catch any of the PBA this weekend?
I did not. I was too busy.
We talked about Kyle Troop on the show.
We did.
Prevailed in an interesting format, the points format.
Yeah.
Bowled against each other. They advanced in the bracket and back to back. I think he won the last 2 matches.
Greta was watching.
Was she? I was excited to watch. Congratulations to Kyle Troop.
I watched golf.
That's right.
I have bowling recorded though. I haven't watched it yet.
You don't have to watch golf. We're talking about
we recorded the bowling too.
I didn't watch that. What was going on in golf this weekend?
It was the Memorial, so you got to watch Rom slam his club with a 7-stroke lead. Be his normal,
I saw some
loving
highlights.
self. Yeah.
Oh,
he did go on to win, but
he is a
gosh,
heart on his sleeve kind of guy.
7-stroke lead, and he just takes his club and slams it down. I mean, I'm like, oh. Really?
It's like kicking a ball return.
Basically.
You shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, no kicking ball returns.
If you're as good as him, then that's a different story.
It's true.
If you're on
but it was
that
funny
level.
because the commentators, I said it out loud, and then the commentators just drilled him for it, like several minutes afterward.
Oh,
he's like
I'm
on his
sure.
second shot, and they were still talking about it. So
he's known for
being a hothead.
Right,
Yeah.
losing his temper on the golf course and being that kind of guy. Yeah, he is.
And then finish up talking about
great.
Yesterday,
get there.
I was getting there. I was just spreading it out. Yesterday, our friend Wesley Lowe became the 36th bowler to roll a 900 series.
Oh.
In Phoenix, Arizona, the first 3 games of a 10-game event.
Oh, wow.
Pretty impressive. Doing a tournament, I believe it was 3 different sets. I believe it was 3 different sets.
Yes.
So I mean, to move, I believe. So 10-game event, moving pairs. I don't believe all 3 games were on the same set.
Yeah, it was hard to tell. Like I didn't see any details of the event, but yeah, 900. There and so many. It was nice to see your Facebook feed just full of bowling.
Yeah.
Wesley Lowe, Wesley Lowe, 900, 900, 900. So that was good. That was good to see.
Congratulations, Wesley. Wesley is he's an awesome. I've invited him to be on the show prior to yesterday, which was cool, and he's going to come on and join and talk with us at some point. Which now we've got another reason to talk to him.
Yeah.
Young man, fine young man from California. I believe the family's from California. Very family oriented. He's a product of our programming. Junior Golds, youth bowling, collegiate bowling, and Team USA, and now out on the tour. And so just a super, super kid.
Great parents.
His parents. I love when seeing his mother, and she always brings gifts.
I sat beside her on a couple TV shows for Junior Gold, and that was fun.
Yeah,
that was fun. She really gets into it. And
very proud. And again, it's also cultural. Very proud of their child. Number one, supports him, but if he's not doing good, man. Whew.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, all right,
Mama ain't so proud. But we'll have to talk to him about that. Cousin Lois, I was just talking about you. She just joined us. Did you see that Jack Mao is opening up outdoor dining? Just saying, in case you missed that. Melissa.
Frankie.
Melissa. So Melissa's taking a little road trip. Tomorrow is the New York State Bowling Proprietors meeting. We're getting together. Part of me is it's going to be like a conversation to yell about the governor. At the same time, talk about our plans and moving forward to what that looks like. And Melissa's taking the trip up with us, and it'd be nice to hear her perspective on the work they've done in North Carolina too.
Absolutely.
But Melissa, you are the incoming USBC president starting August 1st, which I'm sure kind of feels like you've started already.
Yeah.
You know, you've been on the board for now 6 years?
6 years.
6 years. Moving into your final term, you're going to serve as president for 2 years. You chaired the youth committee. I mean, I'm excited. I'm very excited for you.
It's
I'm
partly
excited.
your fault. I just go there, right? I mean,
No, but I mean,
Absolutely.
and if anybody saw her interview on the USBC Sport of Bowling show, it was fantastic in the bowling center, of course, kind of like this.
yes.
But you know, what does that feel like to you? What's going on?
You know, it's exciting as far as being able to work with everyone, but the state of the bowling centers and not all the states being open, and really what we are able to do is we really want to get the pins falling again. We really want to get people back in bowling centers, and so it's going to take us all. It's not going to be one person. It's going to take every single person will have to step in and help and step up. So, but it is an exciting time as far as being able to, you know, Carl has done a great job and has just dealt with so much the last 3 months and done a fabulous job coming through it. And so, you know, I just hope that I can continue to do that same piece until we get bowling back on its feet.
I love when, you know, somebody says to you, "Congratulations! Are you looking forward to it? What are you going to achieve?" And I'm not going to ask you this question because I don't believe I really don't believe it's a fair question.
It's a tough one.
Because yes, our job is to lay the groundwork for tomorrow. At the same time, you just never know what you're going to deal with. When I served, I don't believe there's no way I could predict anything that went on in the 3 years that I got to serve. Carl moving into the role, there's no way. Smooth sailing, things are going well, and then bam. Yeah. And every step of the way there's something, and so you've got to bring that to your board, your committees, and your meeting. You're not meeting like you used to meeting.
Right,
you know, you can't meet it. You're not meeting in person. You're meeting virtually, which is something we were doing already, but I mean, on a regular basis, it's not as easy. So moving forward, you have the opportunity to say, "Hey, this is what we're going to work towards next," and taking that group and taking them out of this.
Yeah.
Not that I'm going to blame Carl for putting us into this.
Well, I mean, I guess one thing you can say though is that if you'd asked me the question 3 months ago or 4 months ago, it would have been a very different answer opposed to what we're dealing with now. I mean, we don't know what the future holds. It's uncertain right now, but we just released the cancellation of all the 2020 short-term tournaments, and so short duration tournaments, and hopefully those will get back on the schedule. And we're going to start in January with team trials and go from there. So hopefully this all smooths out, and this beautiful bowling center can open back up along with the rest of them legally, and and we get some league bowlers back in these bowling centers.
Well, you never know what to expect, and so now moving forward, one of the challenges for USBC is going to be, hey, what does the membership look like tomorrow? Yeah. And that's one of the conversations that we're strategically having, and the board is facing when now building a budget and business planning. There's a lot of pieces that get built into it, and again, it's the land of the unknown. Those tournaments are have large financial impact on the organization.
And now the membership being,
who knows? Bowling centers can open at 50% capacity. Bowling centers can open at 100% capacity. Bowling centers might get shut down in the middle of the season. Again, we don't know, so you have to try to play. No different than what each bowling center is doing, but at USBC, really, it's
overseeing everything.
Well, but it's also too. Financial is a huge piece of it, obviously, but really keeping everybody safe and healthy. That was the deciding factor of really what we were doing. Yeah, as an organization, just the thought process of keeping everyone healthy and safe, and if we could do that, then we would move forward. But
USBC relies on the bowling centers to be operating. That's my point, right? So if the bowling centers are operating at full speed, then great, USBC can flourish and do the things that it needs to do. So to your point, this health and safety is so important, which, listen, we'd be coming home from Junior Golds.
Oh my God.
We would have been celebrating and recognizing some fantastic
I'd have been gone 22 straight days.
Yeah, between Bowl Expo.
And I was so looking forward to it.
We were supposed to have Bowl Expo, Junior Gold, USA Bowling.
Yeah, so I was originally supposed to be in Vegas 4 times this year, I think. I'd already went once for team trials, but 22 straight days when I was supposed to be gone from home. And you will never, I don't know that you will ever hear me say, man, I really need a day off, because 116 of them, that's been plenty. It's been plenty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
my nieces at my
we feel, talking with the kids in the last 2 weeks, a lot of them just, they got over many of them had starting to get over the fact that this decision was made and you're not going to be able to bowl.
Right.
But then here is the time that we would have been away. And so then it's real.
So there's a little bit of bittersweet.
And the memories start popping up from the years before. So that's even worse, because it's like adding salt to the wound.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be traveling. I'm supposed to be in Las Vegas for Junior Gold. Right. And so I think about this all the time, and you all will have different experiences moving forward. Next year, we'll be in Indianapolis, and we'll, as
changes to it.
Leslie and Chrissy say, we're #making memories, because I'm a firm believer in that too. So this is a memory in itself.
Yeah.
Some of the kids are getting the opportunity to go bowl a team masters at the beginning of August in Virginia. I don't know if I want to talk about that, but the fact that the event is running and they're going to have that event, great. They'll be safe, be healthy, and good luck to all the athletes competing.
You talk about the Facebook memory. So the very first Facebook memory that popped up for me was hilarious. I had taken my 12-year-old nephew Cody to Junior Gold for the first time. And it was actually in Las Vegas. Yeah, he's not 12 anymore. He's 21, almost 22. But that was his first trip out to Las Vegas. But that was my Facebook memory of him. He's 12 years old, and so now he's aged out of the program. Bowled adult league with us this past year. Didn't get to finish, but so that was the irony of that. Was just it was in Las Vegas where we were supposed to be going. So yeah, very sad.
Hey. You know what? Again, look forward to what's next.
Mm-hmm.
We can't. It's so easy to dwell on what could have happened this year. And
but listen, it brings hopefully with it a greater appreciation for things that we take for granted every day. And
that's I think that's with everything.
Yeah, with everything.
Yeah.
And hopefully the youth that didn't get to go will really see how much these things like that really mean because it could be gone tomorrow, and hopefully that's what comes out of this.
You got a big change. We got the age division change for next year for Indy, so that so you lose a set of kids, whole group that wasn't necessarily aging out, but they will age out, but they will have an opportunity to bowl Junior Gold. Right. And then these 20-year-olds that have just stayed in. I had a few that stayed down one more year because they wanted to go to Las Vegas and bowl. So, I mean, it's bittersweet on both sides.
They want to take advantage of I'm a firm believer, take advantage of the opportunities as long as you can.
Correct. Once it's gone,
it's true. When I had the opportunity, I could have stayed until I was 21 at the time, and I chose not to for different reasons. Part of me thinks back and goes, you know what, if I stuck around at least one more year, and I didn't, but I don't regret that decision.
Right.
But I tell them all now, especially now that the age is 18, we're talking about 18 years old.
Right.
Your senior, right after your senior year of high school, depending on when your birthday is, how lucky you could be, you might have an extra year. So what Melissa's referring to is that you've got up to the age of 18, and Junior Gold will have a separate adult event for U20, which will be exciting to see. So at least the most important thing, and Melissa, you could talk a little about this, I think is continuing giving the opportunity for these youth bowlers at that age who are still in college, competing in college, without just dropping it and not giving them an opportunity. Here's still an opportunity for them to compete. Yeah,
it was certainly a long discussion that we had about that group and what to do with them. And legally they are adults at that age, and we don't have to get into the schematics of that, but having something for them to do out and not just dropping them from the tournament, because a lot of people, that's their vacation every year, that's what they strive for, and that Team USA piece, and so I think it's important that we were able to, as a group, collectively find something for them to be able to do for Junior Gold. And it'll be the week prior to Junior Gold for the regular division, so it'll be good. I think it'll be good.
Same basic format of that tournament. Right.
Yep.
And all those details are on bowl.com. Whatever's been released so far.
Check it out, people.
bowl.com/Junior Gold. You see the information, and I know Melissa, our Melissa here, and I were very excited with the launch of the new portal to enter bowler data for all of our. So when we qualify bowlers to these events, there's paperwork. Posts, all the information. And
It's
we've
crazy.
been talking about this for such a long time. It needs to get digitized, and we started, the fillable PDFs, which made it easier. But now it's an online form.
That's great.
So kudos to the team.
Well,
Gary was on with us right when that launched, and that was exciting to talk about.
And even they can sanction them. They can certify
Through
online.
the event, yeah.
Yeah. They can just go to the portal. Like right now, if they were bowling youth league, they could go and certify for junior gold. Their junior gold certification
Membership.
instead of having membership,
Yeah.
instead of us having to do it and
Cool.
so having parents fill out forms. I'm like, I'm so excited.
Oh yeah.
It makes it's a cumbersome process. Well, Melissa, so in your role at the bowling center at Buffalo Lane, do you have the largest youth bowling program? And how many children do you bring to junior gold?
So last year I had 57 kids at junior gold.
And that's from all of this. So there's between the 4 centers.
5 centers. Between the 5 centers, we had 57 kids. So 57 kids and 5 coaches. So they're very long days, but it's my favorite week of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm dragging. By like Thursday morning, they're like, well, it was funny. Last year I got a speeding ticket on the way to the bowling center. Missed it was a doozy too. I didn't go to jail, which was very shocking. I was speeding in a work zone 22 miles over the speed limit.
Oh
yeah.
Your lights are on, I hope, at least.
Yeah. So he, it was interesting. It was entertaining. And he said, I started talking. He goes, "You're not from around here, are you?" I'm like, no. And he was very nice. Let me go with a warning. And he goes, "I'm going to go give this guy behind you a ticket, though." He pulled 3 of us.
Oh.
But I missed my U17 boys first game. I did get there later, but one of my kids, Brett Lloyd, he was on that cut line, but he was in that group that I was headed to watch. And he gave me this really nice coach's book. He's going to LMU, so he did his collegiate sign a couple weeks ago, and made me this book. And the picture that's really big in it is his face when his mother told him that I was running late because I had gotten pulled over for speeding. And then someone told Bill Buffalo. So he calls.
These stories probably shouldn't get told, right?
Yeah, well,
he calls and says, I'll pay your.
Making memories.
Oh, exactly. He called and said, I'm going to pay your tolls, but I'm not bailing you out of jail. And I was like, I said, yes, you would. He goes, no, probably.
I would pay the tolls. I wouldn't pay the fine. Did you pay your fine?
I didn't get it.
Oh,
I didn't get a ticket. No ticket,
okay,
no fine. And the cop goes, "I could really take you to jail." I'm like, okay, thanks. And then he started asking questions about youth bowling.
In Dallas?
That was fun.
Right, Dallas?
No, Detroit.
Oh, Detroit.
So much construction.
Yeah. I did get
But they weren't working. So, I mean.
Doesn't make a difference. A work zone is a work zone.
Yes, I know. I just drove through it.
So for lessons, for those young drivers out there, don't do it. And I've got somebody calling bingo. So Ben, congratulations, you do not have bingo. You're a day late. For those of you watching that know that we played, bingo was last night. Ben and his wife did play with us last night. Nazareth was a lucky winner again last night.
How much did you win?
$250.
Yeah, we had 2 winners for the final jackpot. Naz and the young lady who won along with you. She's been very lucky. Won like 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
I almost wonder, the cards that she's getting. I want to take you 2 ladies to Atlantic City.
I buy a lot of cards, right?
You do, and you play with Greta and Ray, and Greta won on the wheel last night.
How many cards do you play with?
Well, I only use 4, but my mother uses 5. My husband uses 5.
Yeah,
and I play 4. I especially last night I was going back and forth between the Met game and the bingo. So I was very quiet. I wasn't chatting.
So I have to say thank you to those who are watching that play with us.
It was a lot of fun. You guys put a lot of work into it, and it's greatly appreciated. You can tell everybody has a great time.
I love getting pictures from people who are playing together. I shared a couple last night.
Or was it here in the building?
No, it's virtual. So this turns into the bingo hall. Christine Diart and I, and then we host it via this on Facebook. And we have people that play from all over the country. And it's pretty cool. We've given
it a lot of fun.
Yeah, see, Anne's one of our avid players who won something last. Yeah, she won a couple times last night. We do a money wheel where we give away scratch offs.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fun. So Melissa, as a volunteer, your $100,000 salary as a volunteer, right, goes a very long way. So thank you for your service. I'm kidding. So as a volunteer, we put a lot of time in, and Nazareth herself volunteers a lot of time for a very long time within the organization, and you have. And in your roles. So you've worked your way. You served in the youth committee. You've now became the chair. You came serving the board. Go back through it again. What do you up to this point? And you talk about this a lot, and that's why I want to ask you about it. They did play baseball this weekend, and we're going to talk about baseball. We're just not there yet. We have a guest here. Can you be nice?
He's being a bull buster.
He is. He is. He wants to talk about how the Yankees won this weekend and beat the Mets.
They did.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they beat up on it's our team. That's if you looked at our roster, I mean, all of our aces didn't necessarily play right now.
I don't know who we're talking to, but
anyway,
W is W, right, buddy?
That is very true.
But it's
I'm not sour. I was looking at the games. I'm not sour. Anyway. So Presidential Monday, yes, Dennis, it's Presidential Monday. So what's been your favorite thing to do, or the proudest moments that you've had so far in this volunteer career at the national level?
That's easy for me.
I know, that's why I'm asking you.
Do you already know the answer?
I do.
On grading the scholarships and then being able to provide them at convention on stage and listening to their speeches when they've won their national scholarships. Just seeing that group of kids, young adults, just their passion and what they have done and how much they have given back. I mean, it's one of my favorite things. It's probably one of my, I think that's got to be my top.
Yeah.
Is watching those young adults get up there and make their speech. And I mean, they're just awesome. They're amazing kids. So.
Yeah, I can only echo that. And, one of the other things, and Wendy McPherson was on with us, and making those phone calls. And so then now, as president, you get to call the Hall of Famers.
I know.
And so not only making those phone calls and calling parents, and then seeing it, talking to the parents, and then telling the parents you can't tell your child, or talking to the child, and it is an interesting experience when you go through that, right? And then seeing them on stage. I have a few of them, those moments where you just sit there and go, who was that?
Right.
And where did all that come from? And not only speaking from the heart, but they truly are the stars of tomorrow, in bowling in this industry. And it really is something special for anybody that attends our convention. I mean, that's a feel-good, it's really a feel-good moment.
Yeah, this past year, a girl from North Carolina actually won the Alberta Crow. And so obviously, just FYI, I didn't grade those. Just make that clear. But when I was able to call, so I called her number and her dad answered the phone, and I know Jack very well. And he was in line to pick her up from school. And so I said, well, I didn't tell him. He thought maybe it was Team USA related or something like that. And so when I told her, they were in the car together and they were on a speakerphone, and she started sobbing. I started sobbing. I mean, I'm just a softie for these kids. I cry with them when they bowl good, when they bowl bad. But I mean, Caroline just had me in tears that day. But that's what it's about.
Yeah,
that is what it's about.
Now, forget about the kids. Go back to when you get the opportunity to make the Hall of Fame calls. It's the same. It is different. But like when Wendy was on and I talked a little bit about that phone call, making those calls. It's an emotional thing too, because for them it's now as a youth bowler, it's a pinnacle, and the Hall of Fame is so different, and you'll look forward to those because you're a softie, right? So
I am a softie.
You said it,
and they all know it. I mean, it's funny. I cry with the best of them.
It's a really cool experience.
Like my kids, they know. Like if they're shooting, I've had a bunch of kids shoot 300 this year or 800, and they know that I'm standing back there just in tears, and they all just laugh and we all hug it out and move on. But
Melissa, the best advice, and so it's, I was kind of going to this before, when somebody asks you, what are you going to achieve? And I don't ask that question for certain reasons. And when I was going to become president, John Laspina calls me, and other people too. I mean, but John was one of them, and specifically lots of good things and advice that comes with that. And you sit back and you go, oh, okay. And you listen.
You can't put it in perspective until
you appreciate it. Right.
You don't know. So I'm going to ask you this, because I'm going to ask you the same question 2 years from now. The best piece of advice you can give someone that's pursuing a leadership position in any, and it's relative to any organization. Going into the job, I'm going to ask you that question, and then we're going to come back at some point at the end, 2 years from now. I'm going to ask you the same question, because I bet you it may not be this. You might not have the same answer.
Well, I think it's interesting because you have to grow as you go. Like, so coming from the youth committee and sitting in a boardroom, and you have to really be able to think like outside. It can't be about your youth program and your kids. It now has to be about like the collective good, about bowling, right? And so I think advice for anybody that's pursuing it would be just to keep a very open mind and be willing to take advice and criticism and be able to learn from it. I mean, because that was a big thing for me is, you know, I count to 10 now before I speak, you know, you take a breath and, you know, you just kind of gather your thoughts and think about it. So I think that's probably my best advice.
Only count to 10?
Well, it depends, probably. Maybe
sometimes I don't get to 10, but yeah.
No, that's yeah. Well, so and it's funny that you say that because we through this medium, 107 episodes later, and 100+ days later, Naz and I have welcomed people into the inner sanctum. You guys know more about us than you ever knew before. Probably a little too much.
A lot of stuff you probably don't.
But we basically opened ourselves up even more, but basically welcomed everybody into what would happen in the office, and naturally, just through conversation. And this conversation specifically, Naz has been there. It's been both of us. Somebody sends you a note, or you see something, and you're like, and you're like, all right, deep breath. And you know, to your point, it's one of those. Write it out. Don't when you hit reply or even on text message, take the person's name out. Just write it.
Right.
Do nothing with it.
Right. Sometimes you
Deep
need
breath.
to do that.
Yeah. Just to make you feel better.
Right.
Try to release it.
We had that moment not too long ago, right before
Frankie
all this crap happening around us.
And Frankie knows very well that I went through that very thing, and it's very hard not to just spontaneously react.
Exactly.
And because you feel offended, you know, when hurt and whatever else you feel.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you see, if you get it on the social space too, when you know something's coming, you just stay off of it. Like the other day when the announcement,
silly space.
Yes.
Silly space.
Yeah.
I stayed off of. I just stayed off of Facebook that day when we released about the short duration, just because I knew that. But I was pleasantly surprised, right?
There were lots of positives.
People understood where we were coming from and things like that. So, but ironically, Chad had called me that night. You know, it was Wine Wednesday for me. So Chad had called me, and I was over at Cindy's house, and I answered the phone. I didn't say, "Hey, Chad." I'm like, "Hey, yes, this is the person that has stayed off the silly space today." You know, so.
Which he does a good job at too.
Yeah, no, he does.
Well, it's very easy to
get caught up in it.
Yeah, and we had this conversation with Chad when he was on the show. We've had this conversation a lot, and that's part of the reason why we do this. Give you something to look forward to, share information about what's going on in bowling, our community, whatever we can. At the same time, try to keep it as positive as possible, because it's so easy to scroll and see nonsense.
Caught up in.
Well, and it's so funny because this is your guys' show here, but when people go back and watch it, like a lot of times I'm not able to see it live, but some people will go back and watch it, and it's bowlers across the country, right? Everybody empathizes with everybody and this whole situation that we're in as bowlers. So it's show's great.
Well, thank you. Well, we appreciate it, even though you don't always pay attention. You know, you didn't even know that we weren't on the weekends anymore, but that's okay.
I didn't.
So,
maybe she watches on the weekends, but she's watching.
I'm breaking her chops.
I really am. Which I fully expect.
Well, I say this a lot. I love getting messages from folks that say, "Great show, I caught up," or "Oh, I didn't know that," or "Great interview." And we've had some good ones.
Hey, Cannington always watches.
Mike Cannington.
Was he on today?
He did say something. Did he pop in before? Oh, no, he didn't.
I didn't see him on my.
No, he didn't pop in yet.
Oh, he'd make a comment if I saw me sitting here.
So, yeah, this is funny. Speaking of positive, here's our meme of the day.
I see Baby Yoda.
How cute is that?
That's adorable.
And he's got bowling shoes on. When you're this cute, you even make bowling shoes look good.
That's adorable.
Isn't that cute?
Who did that?
I don't know. Somebody sent it to me last night.
Oh.
Somebody shared that with me last night.
Tennille Milligan is a Baby Yoda fanatic.
Yes. If you're on Facebook with Tennille, that's all you see is
Baby Yoda.
Is the baby. So, I mean, you know, we like to spread joy. Simple joys. Simple joys.
So, in that show, The Mandalorian, is what is The Mandalorian? Is that the story? Do you know?
You opened your mouth. Oh.
No, I don't know.
So I haven't watched it. So
Okay.
I know a little bit about it, but it's the thing with the whole Yoda thing. There's a misconception that this is. They don't really know what. The memes are creating something that's not.
Not correct. Right. Obviously, he probably doesn't like chicken nuggets.
Gary
We talked
Schmidt
about
in the
that.
house. Hi, Gary.
Hi, Gary.
Anyway,
He's actually one of the guys I really do miss. I haven't seen him in quite some time. He's been with us a long time. He left, and they always find their way back.
They do. It's like I said in my interview.
And I love
When I was
Gary.
talking
He's
about
awesome.
you and Kathy in my interview, and I was like, they're done, but they don't really go away.
they don't go.
You don't
away.
ever really leave. You just kind of stay. You just kind of stay there.
And it's so. I've learned to say no. However,
He didn't say no.
He's right.
well, you didn't even give me. Wait. You didn't even give me an opportunity to say no.
That is correct.
You didn't even call me.
That is correct.
You called everybody else, and I got a text message because I had already known. And it's not like you said, "Oh, I didn't get the courtesy phone call to say, hi, Frank. As I'm working on the and, would you like to? I would be honored. Would you like? No, there was no question. It was, oh, this is done already. So, I did this. I do the same thing.
Well, I was just going to
So,
say you.
I got a piece of my own.
Where did I learn all this national stuff?
So
I guess Kathy initially started it, but
we all work together well. Hey,
she put me on the youth committee. That's why I blame her.
Yeah, you mentioned a little while ago we were talking about the cancellation of events in the fall. However, when it comes to specifically USA Bowling, we are working with the team to reschedule for the winter time.
Yeah, I just got mine scheduled.
We that event will come back after January. That is the plan. So that was originally slated for December. All the events through the end of the year have been canceled or postponed. So we're working with Zach and the team. Zach called while we were on the show the other day.
Oh, nice.
And
because he had just gotten off the phone with me, and he said, "Oh, Frankie's my next call," because I have the October tournament, so I always have the first tournament of USA Bowling. So I got the first.
We're working
pick
on
for
the time
weekends.
frame. A little challenging for us when we hit the new year because we've got a lot of events all kind of. But we'll figure it out. We want to give the kids the opportunity to. Yeah. It's an awesome event.
Which weekend did you
Bowl
get?
Baker. I haven't picked one yet.
Yeah.
So Naz and I have been looking at the schedule.
We
and,
looked at a couple days.
we have to just now commit to it. But it looks like we're going to go the route of a one-day event, which is something that we were kind of working towards anyway. Which this year we were planning on a 2-day event, so it'll get us.
My kids, we went to Chicago last year. I think it was last year, and that was a 1-day event. So my events are normally 2 days, but Chicago was a 1-day that year. So that was a good experience to have the different
How
formats.
many kids did you take to Chicago?
I just took a U12 team and a U15 team. So
2 teams.
Yeah.
A lot of kids. 10, 12 kids.
Plus all the kids at Bolden Junior Gold. Oh, you're talking about the kids that went to
USA
Bowling, the regional.
Right.
Yeah,
The
it was
regional.
because we came here.
You guys
How many
came
years
here.
ago was that?
It was like the first or second year.
Yeah, 5 years ago. 6.
And that event allows you to bowl outside of your region currently as the event continues to grow. And then you represent your region. We have kids that have gone to Rhode Island that have kind of traveled along the coast to bowl in other events for the opportunity to advance. And it's funny, they advanced out of, they were New England one year. And I was like, here are the little kids from New York City representing New England.
I know.
But it was cool they have that platform and they're bowling and they absolutely love it.
I remember when we got here, everybody thought we were from, because our teams are from Buffalo Lanes. So it's a family-owned business. So it's BUFFALOE.
Right.
And so when we came in, everybody just thought we were from Buffalo, New York. So no one said anything. And then when the standings went up, they were like, North Carolina, Buffalo, North Carolina. We were like,
No,
that's
that's
not
not it.
We didn't explain anything on the first day. The second day is when we had to start explaining where we were actually from.
Yeah.
So.
We've had teams come from all over the area, which has been cool. Virginia. We've had a team from Rhode Island come up, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut.
I get Georgia. I get a lot of Georgia and Tennessee teams for mine.
Well, then don't you guys have, what's the closest regional event for you? Is there some in the Midwest? Would you consider, or would it be us?
No, you're probably the closest. Because we had to fly to Chicago. Florida, the one in Florida is 8, 9 hours for us, but you were the closest. That's why we came that 1 year. So I know Taylor's watching my dog, and she said she just texted and sent me pictures of Vegas, right? And she goes, "Wait, where are you again?" I was like, "I'm at Frankie's," and she goes, "Oh, I love that place." I'm like, "Oh."
She's cute. I like getting the Taylor updates.
Mm-hmm.
So
Going to college.
that's crazy. So you're just talking about Cody being 12 and not so much anymore.
Right. Now when it's 20.
We talk about that all the time. We talk about Naz's grandkids, and I mean,
How are your
the
grandkids?
teenager
She's going to be 14.
going on 40.
And then I have two small boys that are going to be 7.
Twins?
Crazy.
No, but they're a week apart. They're like 4 days apart.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Different children.
Yeah.
I got it.
Not she had one and then, you know what, I'm going to hang out for a little while. Yeah, it was weird. That was,
But it just worked out.
it just worked out.
So it'll wait till we see. Speak of babies, the quarantine children are going to be coming. In
Yeah.
5 months. Depending on when or
It's
how.
either that and
Between
that
5,
and
7 months.
divorce lawyers are going to be very
Well, sadly that is already a thing.
There's been a lot of togetherness by
Yeah.
people that didn't want to have a lot of togetherness.
Yeah.
Right.
And we've talked. And so on Friday, I have to say, Friday's show we had Bishama on from the JCC,
Wonderful
Awesome.
interview.
and we talked all different things. We talked about their memory program. We've talked about the social services that they provide that most people don't realize.
Yeah.
So if you didn't watch Friday, and go back and check out what the JCC does
Definitely
outside of just providing a recreational facility. It really is fantastic, and it sheds light. She shed light on some of these issues. Domestic violence, certainly an issue. We had when we had Diane Arnett, the Community Health Action. She talked a little bit about that too.
Yeah,
that's definitely scary to think about people in domestic violence being in that stuck in that situation.
Wives and kids.
Yeah.
That the sad thing is that I can't tell you how many people I've seen say it is that this push to get kids back in school, partially comes from. For some of them, that's the only time they get away from the abuse. It's like their escape.
Yep.
And it's
and
a
they're fed their
socialization for them.
meals. Some of them don't get meals that much at home and all that.
And somebody that cares for them, whether it's a teacher or a counselor. It's sad.
The food thing it's one of those things that you assume is always there, right? And so when the public schools were offering food 7 days a week, it was already there, and the opportunity even through the summer was always there. But people were like, "Oh, does that really exist?"
Well,
but
New
we're
York
shedding light
City
on it.
has been very good about that, and about even so many other. It's very funny, Kevin. They, even like JCC and Diane's organization, Community Healthcare, about getting like 2-3 meals a day to anybody who really needs it. So, listen, at the schools, you can go to almost any public school, walk up. Say how many people you need for. They give you
no questions asked.
No questions asked.
And I think that is one thing that's really been great to see is that the community outreach, the people that are struggling and really getting the help, and that's been good to see.
Yeah, And listen, and hopefully, people who are experiencing domestic violence, that maybe this is a push for them to realize they have to get out of the situation. Right. They don't have to live that way, and it's the toughest decision that most people are ever going to make in their life, especially if they have kids involved. But I mean, it's necessary.
Yeah, and sadly, some of them don't know anything else. It could be something that they grew up with. There are so many different variables, and so if you know someone, I can't stress that enough. If you know someone that's in that predicament and you can help, please reach out. But there are plenty of. The point of that was that there are plenty of services that we just don't realize in our community, and we're in a community with the most nonprofit organizations throughout the whole state. I mean, that says a lot for this little community that's so large, almost 500,000 people strong, and we've got all of these services that we don't always take advantage of. At the same time, have been losing funding as a result of this. And the phone is ringing at Gennaro's, and Gennaro's is not open today. So we've got pizza tomorrow through Friday, Saturday to Friday. I think we're Tuesday to Friday we've been open. Pickup and delivery. So.
And just pizza.
Or is it everything?
Everything.
Just full menu.
So full menu.
Yeah, basically a full menu. I mean, I think there's a couple of things that we don't have, but those are things that people don't order takeout anyway. No slices. I mean, that's the thing. They're not selling slices, which I don't know how many pizzerias are actually selling slices.
Heard of anybody that
unless you have a real walk-up business, like Marco and Tina have a place on Avenue O in Brooklyn, Pizzeria Mola, and they do serve pizza slices there through the window.
It's a different
business, but it's a walk-up business. Here, I think Larry Macron's on New York Lane, I think I saw people with slices the other day. But again, it's an opportunity you can walk up.
Yeah. Different.
Anyway, hey, so I went on a little rant the other day about
Shocking,
garbage,
you did?
and I took the picture, Naz. Here, this is the picture because you couldn't place it. This is still there over the
Oh
weekend.
no! Wait.
Look at the top right on the glass here. Okay,
5 below.
this is 5 outside, 5 below. I may grab a dustpan and a broom tomorrow and clean this up myself.
Front of the store.
So there's no reason for this.
I thought
And they're
they were
open?
talking about against
Okay.
the blue wall.
Are they open?
Yeah. So now this is
That's
becoming an
fine.
expose. This is now, instead of 7 on your side, this is Frank and Naz on your side.
Let's call it Frank on your
Community
side.
outreach.
Community outrage.
Because she's like, I don't want any part of that.
Do me a favor. Own your 18
I'm
and
much more
clean
likely
up
to go
your
there and
crap.
clean it and help them
Instead of complaining about it.
instead of.
I'm ready to pick up a broom and I'm going to bring a broom and I seriously, there's no reason for that.
You know, I wonder
At
because this
all.
I've seen a lot. People park their car, whether they have takeout or whatever they're doing in their car,
Not acceptable.
and before they do, they just dump everything on the side.
Oh.
It's terrible.
We have a huge parking lot at the big center that I work at, and trash was just everywhere. They were dumping. They dumped a mattress in our dumpster, carpet. I mean, and they're not going to pick it up.
Yeah,
City's
that
not going to
happened,
pick it
So
up.
that's the other thing. So so Gata takes care of our garbage here, and they have been. I have to say they have been fantastic through this whole thing. In the beginning, they reached out right away. Are you open? Are you closed?
Right.
Would you like pickup? So, and we canceled our pickup. I mean, it's an expensive thing for a monthly pickup, and so now we have very little garbage, and it's been filled
Except
all the time. I mean, the garbage has been stuff that we're cleaning up, getting rid of.
Is it
But we have
inside
a-
your fence or
Except
outside your fence?
Well, you guys, yeah, but besides any work that we're doing internally that we're aware of, we've got neighbors and people throwing stuff in the trash. And so when I spoke to the young lady today to schedule a pickup, she said, this isn't anything new. We're hearing a lot of people looking for empty dumpsters, contractors driving around at the end of the night because they don't want to pay. But because they see empty dumpsters, there's a kiddie pool and a dead turkey right now in the dumpster. Okay? There's a dead turkey in a bag.
Jim,
There's a yeah.
you want to butcher it?
I don't know if you want to eat it now. It's been out there all weekend.
It's already cooked.
I am now going to go look on the
Dumpster is like
camera
a
to
big
go
oven.
check out where the turkey came from and where the kiddie pool.
And
Have
the
respect.
skis
Do me
in
a-
the kiddie pool.
What?
There's skis in the kiddie pool.
There's ski. Oh yeah, there's a set of skis also.
Nice.
So now the dumpster is filled with other people's stuff. Now that's an expense. Now we're taking on. We have zero income, and I've got to pay for garbage removal.
So right.
That's the cost
So
of
figure out
life
where
in
they're
a
coming
residential
from.
area.
And close. If,
We
if
do
it's-
close the gate. They come in.
No, the other side.
Well,
Put a thing across
They
it.
throw.
Jimmy
Naz, the last time I did that, they threw the stuff over the
we'll
fence.
just throw it over
Well,
the
they can't
fence.
throw a mat.
However, so through the conversation, very
Ours
nice.
aren't blocked at all.
They are offering
We still are-
covers and locks, something
okay.
new that they.
Oh, wow.
So we'll probably be able to shut it and lock it
Need
up.
the dumpster.
That would
When
be
we're open,
Yes.
it's not really an issue because we
Yeah.
fill it up so much.
Yeah, it
People
doesn't
don't
matter.
want to throw their stuff
Right,
here.
right.
But because it's been empty, people just see an opportunity because they're cleaning up, and
And
but we're not the only ones. It's happening everywhere.
Oh, no.
So many people
Natural.
are doing like full house cleanings because they're
Doing the
home
dirty.
And
And-
remodels.
and actually because now sanitation. I mean, they used to be right on time picking up our garbage. So I was talking to somebody who works with sanitation. I said, "Why are they not picking up my garbage now till almost the next day?" He said, "You have no. The trucks fill
Oh, they
up
can't keep up.
immediately."
Wow, I didn't.
He says, so now the truck's got to go and empty, and they have to send somebody else, or the truck has to come back because between all of the remodels and people cleaning out whatever they're cleaning out, garages, attics, basements, whatever, loaded with garbage.
Yeah, I don't know
And
what
they
day my
notify
garbage
them
is anymore.
too, like so the drivers do, because when we called to get our dumpsters dumped the other day, when we called to schedule the pickup, they were like, "Well, you have a mattress and carpet in there,
Oh,
and
really?
that has to be taken out." And whoever did it put it in the cardboard dumpster,
They don't
right?
care.
So, and who wants to touch a gross mattress?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Which is supposed to be
You know-
wrapped in plastic.
Right. Yeah. No, just chunked it right into the. Well, what they did is they dropped it off and they stood it in between the two, and then we came back a couple days later and it was in the top of it. So
Got it in
now that's our
the-
responsibility to
10-yard rule.
go throw away. It's gross.
All right.
It's gross.
So do me a favor. The lesson of the day.
Yes.
Can you clean up your own crap?
Yes. Use your own garbage cans.
Yeah. And to your point, because I've noticed that with our garbage, we don't. It's a day, sometimes a day and a half delayed. So we're Tuesday, Friday. It's been Wednesday, Saturday. We've even had pickup on Sundays, which the problem, it winds up backlogging everyone because the regular Sunday pickup becomes a different day. So I assumed at one point in the beginning of some of the rioting and looting, they were working overtime in areas that they had to go clean up in Manhattan.
Yeah.
We didn't really have that here. We're very lucky. We had, we had protests, but no rioting and looting. But in Manhattan, sadly, a lot of looting. And so cleanup, I assume that for a while it was that. But now that makes a lot more sense. People just have more trash because they have nothing else.
I can tell you on my block, I mean, I know I put some extra out on a couple days. But
thank you, Michael.
So much time at home.
I know, right. I know my neighbors, at least 4 of them, major stuff out on the street.
Yeah, I just put that there. That's garbage I got to throw out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find somebody else's dumpster to put it in. Yeah, thanks, Jim. I put some trash. Well, the reason, we have some trash. We've got water bottles and stuff. So last night we did bingo, and Vicky and Melissa come during bingo nights, and they play here. They have drinks and food and whatever they do, but they like to come here and we have fun. Well, I get a text message from Vicky this morning telling me that, can you empty the garbage pail by the pro shop? My garbage accidentally fell in to the garbage and I had cheese in there. And she put a vomit emoji. So thank God she told me, because otherwise we'd be still would have sat there. Well, then bugs build up, but it would have stunk. We wouldn't have known what it was.
Right.
So I, of course, pulled out the 2 bags, and the 2 bags here, I mean, they're bingo garbage. There's bottles of wine, there's water bottles. It's no food. It's just all paper stuff, but there's about 5 bottles of wine.
I just can't get past all the people that want to drive into the empty parking lot and eat, fast food, and then leave their trash.
Yeah.
Like, why do you want to pull into an empty parking lot and eat when you could have?
It doesn't take much to put a little pail in your car or a bag or something.
Or take it home with you and throw it away at home. Or the dumpsters that are 100 feet away.
See, Mel, this is what we get along. And I've ranted about this enough, and I'm sorry for ranting about garbage, but I find it disgusting. Your masks and gloves do not need to be on the floor.
So disgusting.
They need to be just put a bag in your. Yes. I'm with the borough president. We need to do something. There's no reason for it. We talked about, our Rotary Club has talked about doing something. Maybe it's just providing. Maybe we need to buy garbage pails for people and put them in their garbage. I mean, there are things that we could.
There used to be a thing like that. I'm talking about a long time ago.
We do something.
They used to give you a little. You get a little,
like a sack or a.
Yeah.
We, for the most part, I think on Staten Island we're pretty lucky. I mean, in most areas, Highland Boulevard's pretty clean. People do throw their stuff out, but we've had parts of New York City for the longest time that are disgusting. Trash builds up. It's gotten worse over the last how many years. It could be a lot worse. But we just need everybody to do their part, especially in business districts. Businesses should be out there with their brooms. Harry's going outside to clean today. They're things you have to do.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I was here.
It's a reflection on you.
Absolutely. I remember when I was here for my official vacation, my first vacation in December, and we all went to the city, right? And we were walking around the streets, and in North Carolina, you don't see that. But all the trash was just stacked up because it was trash day.
Right.
So all the trash bags and all that was just stacked up on the street. Right. And I was like, it took me a couple blocks, and then I was finally like, okay, what's up with all this trash on the street? It's trash day for these people. So, I didn't know that.
But think about it. The sad part is that it's the, in Manhattan, there's nowhere else to put the garbage. That's where you put the garbage. So most people, you don't know that.
I had no idea.
But we do. We just need to just own it. Please just own it. Just take care of it. I'm done ranting about garbage. I could rant all day about
trash.
Garbage. And the poor turkey that's in the dumpster. I think I said a prayer last night when I threw garbage on top of him. But he's actually hanging out the sides. Somebody took the bag and literally went like this. I will take a picture just in case anybody cares to see.
No, don't take a picture of the dead turkey.
He's in a bag. Somebody put him in a bag. Oh.
Move on from the turkey.
We can move on from the turkey. We have plenty of them. See, you know what happens when you
He's not done. He's not done.
There was Italian bread lying that fell out of somebody's bag yesterday. I cleaned up like a loaf of Italian bread, all slices, like somebody's takeout garbage, which I bet you they had in a garbage pail and brought it to our dumpster. And of course, what does that breed? That breeds bugs. And then people want to complain that there's bugs in the house. Yeah. That's why the exterminator comes on a regular basis here at Rab's Country Lanes.
You're
You
right.
just never know.
You're right.
So anyway, all right. So this weekend, the Mets and Yankees played exhibition games. Sadly, the Mets did not win. The Yankees prevailed. I don't think they were terrible games from what I've seen. I didn't watch last night.
This is my take. They're preseason games. Let's look at who pitched. Okay, for the Mets, Porcello pitched on Saturday.
Right.
He is going to be 4, maybe 5, maybe not at all. Who knows? He's not in the rotation. I'm not even sure who started last night.
They give it. Listen, and that's what spring training is about. And I don't even know what this is. Summer training. I don't even know what the hell they're doing right now.
It's spring training at this point.
Summer camp.
$10 an hour includes your shoe rental.
I'm not joking. When I was looking on
in
MLB,
North Carolina, that is. I couldn't pay out bills at $10 an hour in shoe rental.
When I was looking on MLB last night for the games, that's what came up. Summer camp.
They're calling it. I mean, they have to call it something. It can't be spring training.
Summer camp.
But some of the websites still are calling it spring training.
And no fans, right? No fans.
We have now. Did Yankee Stadium last night have anything?
I did not see.
So it's Citi Field, and then we know the Giants and the A's have adopted the cardboard cutout, so you could pay with the Mets. You could for $86 take your photo in your Mets gear, and you can have it sitting in a seat, which I think is pretty cool. They're not giving them back. They're not giving them to you. Did you catch that little when you went on?
No,
So they're not giving you your cardboard cutout at the end. Yet. They won't guarantee it because they bet you they're going to leave them out when it rains because there's no way somebody's going to be plucking them all.
Because I don't think they're cardboard.
Well, they're probably like
they're not
chloroplast, like that. Yeah.
Right.
I want to know. I said this last night when we were talking. We're kind of laughing about it on Bingo. Who's going to pick up all the foul balls now? Somebody or home run balls. I mean, somebody's got to pick those up now.
So yes, Yankee is.
Somebody's got to scoop them all up in the stands in all these parts.
Oh, that was.
Are you both Mets fans?
Yes. Welcome to the party.
The cutouts appeared only to be at Citi Field.
Yeah, I didn't.
So just the Mets are doing, or the Dodgers, or
the Mets are doing it. The Giants and the A's, we know for sure.
Right.
Some other teams have talked about adopting it, and they're all doing it for their charitable foundation. So the Mets for $86, because sadly that's less.
Dodgers, Giants, Mets.
The symbolism behind the 86.
This is
it's
interesting.
A fundraiser, and if they sold all of them, I think there's 42,000 seats in Citi Fields. 40 or 42,000. That's $3 million they could eventually make for their foundation.
The Dodgers, the Giants, the Mets, and the Brewers in the National League. The Brewers are charging $50. The Mets are charging $86. If you get it through 7-line Army, it's $69, and then you're in there.
Oh, you're in that section.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Giants are charging $99. The Dodgers are charging $149 for field level and loge seats.
Oh.
$299 for pavilion home run seats.
But they're the ones
dugout club behind home.
But they're the ones giving you the balls if they hit you.
Right.
I think that's so. Assuming that the cost is going to be based on what they're doing. I don't see anything that the Mets are doing, which would be cool if the ball hits you. At least you get to keep the ball.
Wait. Oh, here's more. Astros in the American League. Astros are charging $100. Mariners $30. Rangers $50. Royals $40. The A's are charging. This is hysterical.
I can't believe you actually found a list.
Oh yeah. Oh no, it just says where they're charging $49.
So if you're a fan of any of these other teams, now you have the information. You can go to their website if you haven't gotten it before.
It's right on Google. You just
Googled it.
Is it Google?
Google? What? Google?
Google?
Google.
Google?
It's right. I refer it from the TikTok.
The TikTok.
Oh my gosh, TikTok. We built our Bowling Center TikTok page for the first time the other day.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the Buffalo should be doing some TikToks.
We have TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter. We have them all now.
Yeah.
So that's entertaining.
We love. I have to say, Harry is pre-COVID. Harry was on his way to becoming a sensation on TikTok.
Harry was trending.
He's going to.
He's gonna trend.
He's trending on Giphy, which is exciting. If you've seen our little stickers,
They have a you
Have
can
you seen
scan
it? Did you
it
see
it?
with
Yeah.
your phone.
Hermine. So Hermine is watching, and I love how she calls. She's my girlfriend.
Yeah.
This is your girlfriend. I am bored. What's going on? When will we be bowling again? Love you. Say hello to your mama. Tell Nez and Ray I said hello. I miss you all. We miss you too.
We miss
everybody.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, the senior men's club is getting together in the parking lot for a little tailgating meeting. So they're going to have some fun. They asked what they can and can't do.
Are you worried?
Slightly,
Well,
if you know,
we would
and some of you may be watching, I am slightly worried about what you're doing. As long as you,
If you have to ask permission.
Well, they pretty
well, they
much
have to ask permission. Anybody that wants
No.
to.
I mean, like what they can do.
Yes.
Did they tell you anything?
They're just getting. They haven't seen each other.
almost every senior that I've spoken to or seen has all told me the same thing. Oh, we're meeting there.
They can't wait. They can't wait to see each
So
other.
excited.
They're excited to get together and see each other. They haven't seen each other in months. Some of them have been cooped up. Some of them have said, I know some people who are driving around town just
Right. Just to get out.
to get out.
Change the scenery.
And of course, your niece Andrea writes, "Go Red Sox."
She would. It's okay. She can't help herself.
What did she say?
She wrote, "Woohoo, go Red Sox." Yeah, so on our watch parties, the comments don't come up on here, so that's why when we share stuff, and sometimes you look at each other, and go, "Oh, I don't see that."
Yeah.
Alan Solomon,
Alan.
love you, Alan. You're the best.
Alan.
And do you see the post that he shared this week? So it was another one of those Junior Gold memories, and one of our fantastic volunteers out of the state of Florida, and
He actually volunteered. He actually helps out with the tournament.
Yeah.
Like he travels and works the tournament with the staff, so he's always a big help.
well, Melissa, thanks for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for dropping in. We appreciate you. When I said to Melissa, so I didn't know what time she was going to actually get here. She drove early this morning. And then when she got here, I said, so you're going to sit on the show with us? And she was like, no. I was like, no, you are.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Of
Well,
course you
because you don't really ask her, and,
Like most of our
that-
guests.
that
Kind of like the
becomes
comment he made a while ago, right? Oh, I didn't ask him.
Just so you know that opens the door to
It
the
does.
relationship being that way.
It does. I'm okay with that. It's great. I no problem. You just always remember what goes around comes around.
Right.
sometimes.
That's how I felt about you and Andrew.
Yeah.
About that whole deal.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
good. Andrew had that was
well,
good.
congratulations and welcome to the President's Club.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
And so Andrew and I are excited to have you be a part of that as well as Carl. And, expect a call from Jeff Boget soon if you haven't gotten a call
I
yet.
haven't got one yet.
Our esteemed past president.
It's
He might call you at 3:00 in the morning, but he'll call
it's
you.
kind of nice that it's
From
kind of
Jared
like a
Brown.
welcoming group, that it's
Mhm.
everybody kind of welcomes the incoming person in and probably gives a little tidbit of advice,
And whether you listen to it or not.
Yeah, but it's all helpful. They've all walked in those shoes,
Yeah.
and so it's going to be beneficial to have any advice from any of them because
Yeah.
they've all been there.
So you got to make sure you bring something to put in your office that's a little reminder of home. You can't put your dog. You can't bring your dog to the office.
No, I can
Oh, photos
bring
of it.
like photos of it.
So the president does get a little office. Gets an office at. It's not little anymore. I mean, Andrew had a closet. I had a little bit bigger closet, and then you guys got this beautiful office
Yeah.
with a view.
Carl, you're moving out, man.
But you don't get to use it often. But when you do get to use it, when you happen to be on the campus, it is always nice to have a little something from home.
Yeah.
On your desk, it makes you feel like it's not just.
I used to always
visiting
camp out in
space.
the youth department. Gary used to set me up in the meeting room there when I was coming early, so that was fun.
What are you? Is there something that you are looking forward to in the next 2 years? I mean, we don't know what to expect,
Right.
but is there something you're looking forward to?
I think convention, because I think getting the bowlers together again and really getting through this pandemic and really getting together again is going to be a big deal, and I look forward to seeing that because just the camaraderie at convention is just amazing.
It is.
I mean, and just when now the board members kind of sit out with the states and everything, so I look forward to that.
Me too. That is one of my favorite weeks of the year. I have several, but Bowl Expo is one of them.
Bowl Expo,
The USBC convention. I mean, getting together with your peers is a lot. And you share war stories. We have a lot of stories after all of this, I'm sure.
A lot of
This
memories.
bad dream that we've had that's going to become a really good dream. At some point.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, that's what we hope comes out of it.
Awesome. Hey, you never know what's going to happen here on Live from Rabs the rest of the week.
No trash talk. No more trash talk.
No, we'll always talk about trash because there's always going to be
But
trash
you might
somewhere.
see the turkey pictures later.
But we're here Monday to Friday at 12 noon.
No turkey.
I'm not going to share the
Don't
turkey
share
photo.
it.
I'm not going to share the turkey photo.
You don't
However,
want to
more
see that.
importantly, for those of you that want to get your equipment lined up,
Yeah.
schedule an
There you
appointment in the
go.
pro shop. Jimmy's here is in person on Tuesdays and Thursdays for in-person appointments. He'll also go to your locker and empty it out. And
Take care of
Plug
whatever
those-
you need.
I saw when I went back there, I was talking to Jimmy the other day. This post, we're going to repost it, is below with the links to schedule your appointments to have your equipment taken care of. Jimmy had about 30 bowls being plugged the other day.
Yeah.
Um,
Because not
Light holes.
people are
Light
not
holes.
only going through the locker dash, that everybody has Jimmy's phone number, so they're texting him.
Right.
So, yeah, so he can take care of you. We'd prefer you use the appointment thing, but if not, and you have Jimmy's personal number, blow it up.
We'll welcome you in the pro shop with your mask, blow up Jimmy's phone.
Yeah.
And, you know, some of it was equipment that he's plugging up to resell.
Yes.
But I said, oh, look at this. He was concerned about not having something to do at first, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's been
He's
busy since-
plenty busy.
Yeah.
He's plenty busy.
I mean, Liz and Naz took the opportunity. Liz really shaped the front of the store this past week, but they all kind of cleaned it up and did things, and so Jimmy can focus on the back. And you know, he's a neat
looks
freak
good.
to an extent.
Looks
So
good.
he'll clean up the space, but it's nice to see a little normalcy. We're slowly getting there. Sadly, we don't really have guidance to when we can open. I know Governor Murphy's was on about an hour ago, so New Jersey might have gotten some sort of update on what's happening there, which means Governor Cuomo maybe will speak at some point this week. But again, we've entered phase 4, so welcome to phase 4. Minus bowling, minus malls, movie
It
theaters,
feels the same.
And
Yeah, it's no
side
different than
entertainment.
yesterday. But we can go to the zoo.
There's that.
There's that.
I feel like I'm at the
Animals are
zoo every day.
lonely.
Anyway.
Animals are lonely.
They are. And the zoo,
No turkeys.
so Ken didn't come on the show, but he sent us videos. And if you see, the zoo's been keeping people up to date. There's some really cool things. And they're excited to get back open.
Most of the zoos have been doing really cool things by letting the animals,
Yeah.
the little penguins or whatever, out, and they wander around the zoo and they
Yeah.
film them or whatever.
Yeah.
That's been pretty cool to see.
Kind of the behind the scenes, which a lot of Richmond Town, I have to say, has been really
Yes,
creative.
they've been great.
They've been historic Richmond
Interactive,
Town was going into, and Jessica B. Phillips was on the show, so you can go back to that interview and she'll talk about it. But they've been doing more. But they've been going into the old homes and into the attics,
Oh,
and what they find, and
Ooh.
they're very different things. All
Yeah.
stuff that they knew it was there, but people, I mean, they don't go in there often.
Right.
But there's some coffins empty that she discovered. There's stuff, but it's pretty cool.
I'll take the turkey over the coffin.
Yes.
But going up in
Given
these
those two choices.
old
Yes.
buildings from the
Yes.
1600s, and you know, it's really cool.
Right, and she videotapes the whole thing, so it's pretty cool.
She does edit it, so I told her separately. I said, I want you to go live, like true live, because I want to see your
Oh my
reaction.
gosh. could you
Going up
imagine?
these
Blair
rickety
Witch
stairs.
Project.
Yes.
Like you're going up
Yes.
these rickety stairs, and knowing her, like what kind of
Right, the whole time she's got
Experience
some background.
where she's going, ooh, ooh,
Yeah.
oh, and some of it you can see in the videos, but our cultural institutions have been creative. I mean, a lot of people have. But you know, Melissa, 2 hacks here with a table inside the bowling alley.
It's fun.
And a diffuser.
and
it's
it's
a
and it's
diffuser.
unique, and no one else is doing it. And that's
No,
what's so
they haven't
cool about
lasted
it.
this long. They've all quit. For the most part, most of our friends that have been doing this all kind of quit in some way, shape, or form. But 107
It's amazing.
episodes.
You guys do a great job here. This is awesome.
We have
This
some
is awesome.
We even get thank you cards.
Nice.
Isn't that nice? Verity sent us a nice little thank you this past week. So anyway, so you never know what's going to happen here on Live from Raps. We're looking forward to bringing some more friends on the show and talking everything and anything. If there's somebody that you want to see that you didn't see in 107 episodes,
Let us know.
let us know. Our guest list is growing, and its invitations have gone out. Some only one person has told me no.
And one person has been kind of dodging us oddly.
Yes. Who was supposed to be on the show, the doc. And he's now, I think he's now more embarrassed that he was supposed to be on and then didn't
Well, he's a
happen.
busy guy.
That he forgot, but he's been busy. So
He's busy.
he gets a little bit of a break. And I know he watches because he does comments. And Dickie Hillpot was watching before, and he said, glad you're feeling well. And I don't want anybody to think if anybody saw that.
Yeah, exactly.
I had an acid reflux attack the other day.
Oh,
And
did you?
we were supposed to have them over, and you just never know.
Oh, was it the cheese
So we
platter
took
saw?
no. Oh yes.
Yeah, the
We
text.
were supposed to have company over, and we wanted to be safe and make sure that. But it was just that. So I feel great. I got it all out of me. But that's not fun.
No.
When you, especially when you don't know, but
It's a little scary.
a lot of times
because
when you get that out of you, you feel wonderful. Okay, let's go.
If something feels off, what's the first thing you think of right now? Oh my God.
I'll tell you, the other night I didn't feel well either, and I actually felt like I had chills. Like I felt like I had like a fever. So immediately
Now you should come this way.
I took my
'Cause
oils.
that didn't help.
I took my oils and I kept sniffing them like every
Sniffing
hour.
her oils.
Every hour, just to make sure. I just wanted to make sure, but it was an overnight thing,
Well, I did. So it's funny. I had none of those. I
Yeah.
felt a little lightheaded,
and I didn't
and
even
that's
have
like
a
the
fever.
beginning
which
of
is weird.
That smells good.
and it was just this. But anyway, too much information.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
I feel great. Thank
Speaking
you.
of just not feeling well, please keep Marco
Yes.
Recchia in your prayers. He had a little medical thing, and he's going to be fine. But keep Marco and Tina and the boys in your prayers.
Before you know it, he'll be back in action.
Before you know it, he's going to be back
Making pizza.
making pizzas and making deliveries. And
Fortunately, he is doing okay.
yes,
He'll be home shortly, and just prayers all around. You never know, and prayers all around. And if you haven't heard from someone, pick up the phone and call
we
them.
talk about almost every day
Please.
now.
You just
Pick up
never
the
know.
phone.
Pick up the damn phone. Well, that was fun. Again, Melissa, thank you for
Thanks,
Well,
Melissa.
welcome
Thanks
to the
for
inner
having me.
sanctum.
Come every-
Thanks for being a part.
He's taking you away.
You never know.
I know.
Melissa's So
I'm here till Thursday.
yes. So you never know. Melissa might pop up again. In the meantime, wash your hands.
Wear your mask.
Wear
I
your
feel
mask.
like public service announcements. We
Social
shouldn't have to do
distance.
this. Be like Harry and wear your mask, please.
I have to say again, over the weekend, everywhere I went, people are very good about wearing
Yeah,
masks.
I think it's kind of starting to the realization that they really want the world to go back to normal. If they say it
Yeah.
helps, do it.
Yeah. I'm still seeing people with the under the nose thing.
Oh, yes, I ran into somebody somebody we know in Home Depot, and I was online, and it was somebody I knew. So I tried to pull the mask up a little bit more, hoping maybe they were. Of course, they turned around and they recognized me, and
So it
came
wasn't
over,
Rocatroci.
and it was literally a chin strap. So he came over to hug me, and I said, and the cashier was cracking up. I said, first of all, and I said, second of all, you have that mask on. You might as well just take it off because it's a chin strap. Why are you even wearing it? And then you want to hug me? I said, finish your transaction.
I'm slightly guilty with the chin strap, but not in public.
It was in public.
Yeah.
I did it.
In the store.
When we were tailgating with the Rotary Club. We all had our masks. We were talking. I was getting ready to eat. So I pulled. It was easy just to pull the mask down,
And
and
you
then
were
I keep.
probably socially distanced.
And we were. But
then
in
you
the store in public is not good. It's
Yeah.
really not good.
Meanwhile, when he's talking to the cashier, I'm watching the cashier, and the cashier is trying to. He should have just said to him, "Could you pull your mask?"
It's one of those moves where now it's not. People stand in front of you and they're in your space talking to you. Well, now you can literally say, "Hey, this is my space."
Absolutely.
But you
That's
always
what me
have
and
that
Frankie-
person that does this, and then they
Yeah,
get back up.
they keep
You back up. That means that you stop. Stop in your space.
GTFA. Get them away.
Yeah.
Hey, Gail Castellano just popped on and just reminded me I had gotten an update on the coin business. So check this out. So my other banker friend, Julie, says they ordered $300 in pennies and they sent them $7. They ordered the bank ordered $300 in pennies, and they sent $7 in pennies. So the Fed is running low on coins. Because I said to her, "Is it real? Our business is not just buying coin?" And she says, "No, they're trying, but they're not getting them." So, which means that we're not putting that because of what we haven't circulated the coins.
People are trying to avoid handling money. I see it all the time.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There you go.
Spend your coins if you want to be a good friend. Pre-count them out, and then bring them to a store and say, "Hey," because they can use them. Walgreens absolutely was so excited with that lady that came in today. Anyway, hey, this is fun. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Like, share, subscribe, click the bell. Right, Naz? Click the little bell so you get notified.
Yeah, that notified. Because wouldn't you want to know when we're on?
Absolutely.
I just watched another silly video of somebody a YouTuber, and specifically, click the bell.
Right.
Nice.
Until then, we'll catch you later. Naz?
Yep, that was awesome. Thank you.